Lisa Thompson. I am an artist in my spare time. It's a hobby, but I also manage a project that addresses sexual and gender-based violence, and it's funded by the Canadian government here in Guyana, working with Indigenous communities, police, and judiciary as well. I love what I do, both professionally and my pottery. I think I've always felt that I was an artist, but maybe about 20 years ago, I started really exploring it. And I started off with batik and tie-dyeing, and then I moved into working with stained glass. And all of it has been just through curiosity. And so, doing mosaics and so on. And then during COVID, I got, I want to say, stranded in Canada. I went for 2 weeks and ended up there for 3 months because of the shutdown. And while I was there, coming on to the end part of my stay there, I met someone who is a potter and told her, I've always been curious about it and I would love to learn. And she said, well, in the couple of weeks you have left, I'm happy to teach you everything I know. And then I found this guy in Wakenham, Gupti, he's such a lovely, lovely person. And so Gupti and I then developed a relationship where he would make the vases for me. And then I would just focus on glazing. So that's for the vases that you'll see a little later. But for the bowls, these are what I make myself, which is more what they call hand building. People who know me know that I love children and I love having a good time. I often tell people I'm a good time girl. And the pottery that I am making, I started off just intending to do maybe 10 pieces. I've now got about 60. And the 10 pieces were aimed at focusing on happy childhood memories of things we all did as children. I grew up in Adventure on the Essex Coast, and so, the whole country experience is filled with hopscotch and skipping rope and picking mangoes and getting away to go learn to swim in a canal, all of those kinds of things. And so the pieces reflect, there's a whole collection that's called the Small Days collection, and they reflect all the things that not all, but a lot of the things that I would have experienced and seen as a child. And it's intended to invoke and evoke happy thoughts and memories. So I'm asking people to come down that memory lane with me, reminiscing about all of the positive things that happened during our childhood. It's the first time I'm going to be doing a solo exhibition at Castellani House. So I'm like so thrilled, All the years of doing art, one of the things that always was in my head was, gosh, if I could get to the point where I could exhibit at Castellani House, it would be a dream come true, and it has come true. Thanks to the approval that I received from Ministry of Culture to do that. So it's going to be, I want to say it's going to be the first and the biggest exhibition that I've ever done at Castellani House. It opens on the 8th of August and it runs until the 21st of August. My mother was an educator, but she was also a really good artist. She never did anything professionally or so, but we grew up making cards for each other for birthdays and Christmas and so on. And it was my mom sitting with us and teaching us to draw, encouraging us to draw. So that's where I think, the whole interest in art came about. And so my grandmother is also a huge influence on me. My grandmother loved to read, and she would read stories during the day when we were at school and so on, and then she'd tell us stories at night. So which was a big part for us. Children from the neighborhood would often come over just to hear her stories. And our home was always a gathering place for people from the village. You know, everybody knew her. And so you'll see that there are 3 vases that are dedicated to her and what she did, and the influence that that had on us. And so that also influenced how I saw this exhibition as storytelling. I have 2 wonderful sons. Every mother will say this, I believe, but I have the best sons in the world, Benjamin and Shimani. Benjamin is right now teaching English in Taiwan, and Shimani is in Vancouver, Canada, working.